Hello and welcome to this week's Trade of the Week on Monday, the 2nd of December 2024. On the 11th of November, we went long dollar yen, and that trade worked out quite well at first. But last week, we moved our take profit order to break even, meaning that if the market were to reverse, we wouldn't lose any money on that trade. And this is exactly what has happened. You can see here we were long at 153 yen and 70 sen. And then we eventually got stopped out at our break-even level, hopefully not losing us any money on this trade. And that's why we have stops in place, to make sure that when we do get it wrong, we lose as little as possible. Now, last week, I wanted to go short, or we actually did go short orange juice futures, and we had a stop loss on a daily chart closing basis at 505, and we went short here around 492. And you can see that we did intraday for 2 days in a row go above that 505 level, but we never closed above it. We always closed below the psychological 500 mark. So we wouldn't have been stopped out on this trade, and we are still short, as you can see here, now in slightly positive territory. And we still have our downside target around the 455 mark on this orange juice futures trade on. Now, with regards to the stop, you can, if you don't want to use a stop on a daily chart closing basis, say the high we've seen so far this year at 510.73, you could place your stop just above there if you wanted to have a wider stop, or you just stick to a psychological trade if a close is above now the 500 area, thereby reducing our risk even further. But only on a daily chart closing basis. So only when you close above 500 would you be stopped out on this trade. And today what I would like to do is look at the Lloyds share price, because I know that a lot of our viewers are very interested in Lloyds Bank. And you can see here that we're currently retesting major support, and that brings us back to the lows seen in June and also in August and now in November. And you can see here that we might be forming a hammer formation around 52.91. We'll have to see where we close later on today. But if that is the case, potentially we could see at least a short-term reversal to the upside on the Lloyds Bank share price. So therefore, I'd like to buy this stock. This week's trade of the week is to go long Lloyds Bank, the share of that bank, and do so around current levels, around 52.91, with a stop loss below the recent support area going back to June, let's say at 52.34, and an upside target around the 56 mark or higher.